Welcome to the Candle Business Coach podcast. I'm your host, Kirsty Allen, the Candle Business Coach. I'm a mum of three, kindness advocate, and your go-to coach for building a thriving candle business. This is the space where candle makers come together to learn, grow, and turn their passion into a profitable and purposeful business. In every episode of this podcast, I share practical tips, inspiring stories, and honest insights to help you grow your business, boost your confidence, and keep that creative spark burning bright. Welcome back to the podcast, my friend. It has been a couple of months since my last episode upload, and while I didn't plan to take a break, and especially not a break that long, life in business kind of just got busy, and between the candle business coaching my private clients and running my own product-based business, which is called Magnetized Memories, also supporting other candle makers inside my community, the Candle Makers Collective, working 4 days a week and being a mum of three, the podcast quietly slipped to the back burner. And as much as I have missed recording episodes, it's been kind of nice not having another thing on my plate. That said, I did send an email out to my list last night to say, would you like me to return to uploading podcast episodes? And it was a resounding yes. We've missed the podcast. We've missed hearing your voice and hearing other people on the podcast, other candle makers talking about their experience as candle makers, as business owners, and tips and tricks along the way to grow their business and to grow your business too. So here I am recording the podcast on the 3rd of November. It's going to come out on the 4th of November. So by the time you hear this, it's only been a day after I've recorded it. And yeah, let's just catch up. So grab a cuppa or light one of your favorite candles and let's have a chat about what's been going on. Let's talk about the Glow and Grow retreat, which was a month ago. Can you believe it? And the Candle Makers Collective is now on a new platform instead of Facebook. So there's a few things to cover in today's episode, but let's start off with a life and business update. So the last few months have been quite busy for myself. Running around after my three kids has taken priority, of course. And when they're occupied with other things or asleep, that's when I can get into business mode. Mum mode takes a little pause while we hit the ground running with business mode. So my magnet making business, Magnetized Memories, has been growing beautifully. I have been attending markets, so as a stall holder, and meeting some amazing customers and sharing some beautiful stories with people as to what photos they choose to have on their magnets and talk to them about bulk orders and wholesale orders and other things. So that's been growing lovely. The other thing that I've been focusing on that's to do with life in business is growing the Candle Business Coach brand as well. So there've been a lot of things happening behind the scenes, which I haven't been sharing on social media and obviously haven't been sharing here on the podcast, but it doesn't mean I haven't been working in the business. It just means I haven't been as active in sharing it. And that has happened for a variety of reasons. One of them is I'm feeling just a little bit burnt out with social media. I have to be honest. I know how effective it can be in growing your business, receiving more followers, receiving sales, and of course, building your community and having connection on the social media platforms, particularly Instagram. That's where my heart is at. But sometimes it feels like you're on a hamster wheel and that you just can't produce enough content to make the algorithms happy or to get the sort of result that you're looking for in the timeline that you're wanting. So I took a little bit of a break from socials as well as the podcast, and I feel like I've missed you all so much. It feels like it's been too long away from connecting with you, and that's why another reason why I wanted to record today's episode and to publish it and get it out into the world and get my voice in your earbuds again, because I know how important it is to have a source of inspiration. And that's something that many candle makers have said to me, is that this podcast is a way for you to feel connected and not so isolated. And I hate to think that my absence has been, a negative impact in your journey. So I'm back and let's keep the momentum going. That's what I want to end that part on. Now, the Glow and Grow retreat was a month ago, and I'm recording this, as I said, on the 3rd of November. And it was the 3rd of October, so exactly a month ago. That was the first day of the 3-day retreat that I organised for candle makers. The Glow and Grow retreat, it was such an incredible experience. Bringing together a group of amazing candle makers and spending 3 days immersed in creativity, connection, business growth, it was actually pretty epic. There were tears, there was laughter, late night chats, lots of food, lots of drinks, and it was just an amazing experience to come together and to be inspired and motivated and to have that connection and that community. One of my favourite moments was seeing everyone relax and open up over the course of the weekend, because when you step away from the daily grind of business and home life, it gives you an opportunity to reconnect to you again, back to yourself. And we were able to do that with a variety of guest speakers and activities that we had over that weekend. I was especially excited for the beautiful Jess Ramirez and her motivational workshop presentation that she did, all about reconnecting to yourself and finding that self-care and that motivation again to go after what you dream, and giving yourself permission to dream again for the things that you may have had in the back of your mind but not giving yourself permission to go after. And I love that when Jess spoke, everyone was so connected and immersed in what she was saying, and it was really amazing to be in her presence and actually meet her and give her a real life hug, a real life squeeze, and experience something truly magical. Because if you haven't listened to Jess's podcast, Ignite with Jess Ramirez, I definitely recommend, after you listen to this episode, of course, jump over to her podcast, because you'll be inspired, you'll be captivated, you'll be motivated, and you will be absolutely left with a kick up the bum, ready to go after your goals and dreams. And I absolutely adore Jess, and I think what she does in her business of women empowerment and her goals to create community and a space of female entrepreneurs that are able to go after their dreams is truly magical. So to have her at the retreat was, yeah, absolutely incredible. We then had some gorgeous food. We had a 3-course dinner catered for us at the venue, and to say there was more than enough food than we needed to eat is an understatement. But it was amazing to have such a treat and enjoy each other's company while we were able to relax, while we had a caterer come in and cook for us, which was beautiful. On the Saturday, we had a yoga session in the morning, and it was interesting because a couple of the ladies had mentioned that they hadn't done yoga for a while, and one lady actually said that she hadn't done a yoga session ever. So we were all a little bit rusty, but it was incredible to see everyone give it their best, and the energy in the room after we did the yoga session was truly relaxed. And how do I explain it? Look, if you've ever done a yoga session, you know what it's like at the end of the class when you've had your meditation part at the end. It just feels light. The air feels light, and you just feel like a weight has been lifted and you just float through the day, right? So that was very much our experience on the Saturday morning. We then had a perfume making, reed diffuser making, and room spray making workshop hosted by the incredible Pure Candle Supplies. Nicole and Tim travelled down to do this workshop with us, and we all got to smell all the different fragrances and mix up our room sprays, perfumes, and reed diffusers. And it was fun learning more about home fragrance products in a way that's not just candles. I mean, yes, we're all candle makers that came to the retreat, but being able to expand our range in ways that feel aligned in our business, this workshop gave us permission to learn about that, which was really fun. And then in the afternoon, we had an incredible social media workshop hosted by the lovely Erica, and we learnt about how to create content in a way that is aligned with what we want to put out, but is also on the algorithm side. So that was a really fun workshop. I enjoyed that. And then we went out to dinner and had a 3-course dinner again at a local winery, which was just beautiful. On the Sunday, we had our final meal together. We had breakfast, and then we said goodbye. And before we knew it, the retreat was over, and it was a seemingly distant memory, even though it was only a month ago. And I feel like I was talking to a couple of friends after, actually just this last week after the retreat, and they'd asked me, how was it? What was your experience, and what what was it like, and tell me all the things. And so I went through all the things that I've just done with you in this episode. And it was interesting because I felt in the months leading up to the retreat, it was very much excitement and nervous energy, but looking forward to it and planning and organizing and wanting to make sure every detail was well thought out and everything was, quote unquote, perfect. But then the day after the retreat, actually the moment that I locked the door of the venue and got in the car and drove away, and then the days afterwards, I just felt really sad, like content and happy about how well the retreat had gone. But just that realization that it was over and that it was now in the past instead of something to look forward to in the future. And I feel like it was the same after I got married. The day after I got married many moons ago, you have so much excitement leading up to the event, and then the day after, you think, oh, well, all that planning, all that organizing, all that preparing, it's now done. It's over. You get to enjoy the experience, enjoy the day, or enjoy the weekend that the retreat was. And then it's over. So I think what I'm going to do to help get me back onto the excitement train is to start planning the next one. So I'm not sure exactly where the retreat will be, but as soon as I've worked out, the location and how I want the retreat to go for retreat number 2, I just know it will be absolutely magical, and I will be sharing details as soon as I possibly can. Don't hold your breath though, because it is November, and of course in the crazy season coming up to Christmas, it's not a priority right now, but it is something I want to do again because I know how valuable and how incredible the experience of coming together in a community and having that in-person connection is. And I want to experience that again with either the same ladies or with a new group of ladies, or a combination. I think would be amazing. And who knows, maybe we'll do it in Byron Bay. Maybe we'll go to Hawaii. Not really, but wouldn't that be fun? We'll do it somewhere beautiful. And I think it's going to be incredible no matter where it is and no matter who comes along. Now, something else that's been happening recently inside my community, the Candlemakers Collective, is we've changed platforms. So the membership community aspect was inside a Facebook group, but we've now moved away from Facebook onto a new platform called Skool. Skool. And the reason for this is because I wanted to have the resources and all the recordings and everything that is part of the community, part of the collective, to be in one place. Previously, it was a bit segregated. We had the Facebook group, and then we had an external website which would have all the resources, all the past recordings from our weekly catch-ups, all the guest speaker recordings too. And I found it to be a little bit clunky, but at the time that was the best option I had, or the only option that I knew of. Then I heard about the new platform called Skool, and basically it's like another social media in terms of it's a place for you to connect and be social, but it's also got the classroom element that has all the resources, all the recordings, and everything that is part of the collective. We also have the calendar section where you can click straight through to our weekly Zoom sessions, and you can even see where different members are all around the world. So looking at that tab, but I'm looking at it on my computer now, on the map, I can see that we've got some members in the United States, we've got some members in the United Kingdom, and we've got members in Australia as well. And it's just fun to see as a member coming in and seeing where the other members are located, because then you can connect with people that are close to you and even possibly catch up in person, which I think is so much fun. So the platform is Skool, and there's the link in the show notes for that if you feel like joining and want to connect and have that support and some strategies and community to grow your business. Inside the collective, as I mentioned previously, we have our weekly live Q&A coaching calls via Zoom. There's all the different resources and tools and templates inside the collective as well, and that includes my ebooks. I've got the market guide, the wholesale guide, there's a market kickstarting kit, strategies to scale, and all the other journals and worksheets that you can utilize in your business to grow your business in different ways. So I love how everything is now in one place, easy to use, and the vibe is so much more intentional because there's no ads, there's no doom scrolling, there's no distractions. You can download the app on your phone or you can access the website from your computer. It's been amazing watching the members jump into the new platform, engage with one another and feel inspired, because that is the goal of the Candlemakers Collective. It's to bring candlemakers together, to have that community, to have that connection, to feel inspired, to feel motivated, to then go out and grow your business and not feel stuck or like you can't overcome any particular challenges, because we've all been through it before and we're all supportive of one another. There's no competition, it's all collaboration, and I love that that's part of what the Candlemakers Collective is all about. So what is next for the podcast? Well, the podcast, I'm planning to release more episodes. I can't promise that they'll be out weekly. I would love to promise it and then deliver, but I know that the podcast is just one part of the Candle Business Coach world, and I know how important it is, but I also know how much time it takes as well. And it's just juggling life, particularly as my children get older. The pull and the push of where the priorities lie can be a little bit tricky at times. But in terms of the podcast episodes that are released, there'll be honest conversations, practical business tips, and of course real stories from candle makers who are doing the work and building businesses. I'll also be mixing in more solo episodes like this because I really do enjoy sitting behind the microphone and sharing my thoughts, and I've been told that my voice is quite soothing, so I hope that that's true for you as well. But it's nice just to catch up and chat on the podcast with other candle makers, but also in these solo episodes, because I know how important it is to have a mixture of different episodes, and I hope that you can find the ones that you love. In terms of the next few months, especially as we come into Christmas, as I said before, I'll probably take a break over the Christmas New Year period, but I am hoping to start 2026 with a bang and get some more episodes out. I do have about half a dozen or so episodes that are in the bank that just needed to be edited, and then released. So those ones are coming, including an episode from the very incredible Erica from Memory Box Candle Co. I've been sitting on that one for a couple of months, which is, smack my hand, not the greatest. I should be getting that episode out. I know people are excited to hear beautiful Erica and my conversation all about candle making and growing a candle business. So that episode is coming. Wondering if it's going to be the next episode I release or maybe in December. We shall see. But if you've been missing the podcast, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for your loyalty and your patience. I do appreciate you more than you know. And if you're new here, if this happens to be the very first episode that you have found and are listening to of the Candle Business Coach podcast, welcome. If you listen to this podcast, if you've made it all the way through to here, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. If you have not yet already, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, whenever that may be. And of course, come and join us in the Candle Makers Collective if you are wanting to be a part of your tribe of candle makers that are motivated, connected, and supportive of all members, no matter where you are located in the world. I'll pop the link in the show notes. And I think that's all I wanted to share in today's episode. If you do have any questions, you can always send me a DM on Instagram at Candle Business Coach. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next episode, and let's get this podcast going again. Thank you, my friend, for listening to this episode. Check out the show notes for all the links mentioned throughout the conversation, and please subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. And if you're feeling inspired, I would love it if you would write a review for the podcast and give a 5-star rating. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day.